Cosmic Girl 101 signing on for the Pisces Rising Astrology for the month of July 2024. Okay, let's have a look at the slower moving transits of some planets. We've got Uranus still direct in Taurus, your third house, and Uranus goes into a retrograde on September 1st. Jupiter's currently transiting in its detriment sign of Gemini in a direct motion, your fourth house, and goes retrograde on October 9. Pluto's retrograde in Aquarius, your 12th house, and then on September 1st goes into retrograde motion in the sign of Capricorn, your 11th house. Saturn's retrograde in the sign of Pisces, your first house, and goes direct on November 15. And on July 2nd, Neptune's going retrograde in your first house of Pisces and goes direct on December 7. Okay, Pisces Rising, you have two outer planets being Saturn and Neptune now retrograding in your first house in a very, very slow pace. Now, the first house is connected to you. This is how people see and respond to you, your character, your personality, your physical body, your psychology. The first house is about your own physical presence and your health. So Saturn and Neptune retrograding here until November and December of the year. There's a retracing of what you find desirable and pleasurable that gives you a sense of, I feel good within myself. I'm getting on top of my psychological blocks, if you have any at all. But it's empowering you to feel confident in the self. So Saturn and Neptune are really helping you slowly eliminate what's working and what's not, and get on top of your game. Get back to your life force. On the 5th of July, we've got a full moon in Cancer in the moon's domicile sign, and this is your 5th house of joy and pleasure, Pisces Rising. Feeling ready to invest and connect with a romantic partner or a relationship, go in a new direction together, or start a new relationship altogether that feels safe and secure. And if you do have a partner, it's like you guys are possibly redirecting your attention to providing more secure emotional support to one another. This house has a lot to do with children, creativity, investments. It's the house that's connected to pleasure. So when you've got a new beginning here in the sign of Cancer, this is a fantastic time for discovering, what do we want to change up? I want to feel more fun. The 5th of July can see your moment to redirect and change and start something new that feels organic and in flow with your natural energy. July 21st, there's a full moon in Capricorn, and this is your 11th house of allies and benefactors, your friends, people that support you, groups, organizations, different societies that you interact with. And we have a full moon occurring here in that 11th house. And this house also has a lot to do with your aspirations and, you know, your vision house of your dreams and your goals, where you want to direct your energy. What do I really want? And Saturn is the dispositor of this full moon retrograding in Pisces, your first house, sextiling the full moon. So whatever's revealed here on this day, or there's an acknowledgement of something that feels like it needs to have a breakthrough connected to the 11th house topics, but it's benefiting you in your first house. So you could land a contract with someone that's going to benefit your career, for example. You find some friendships that come online that are really more supportive or available than maybe you gave them credit for. It's an interesting day because it sextiles your first house, and it's your 11th house of benefactors and people that help you and groups. You might also be ready to graduate from a particular group or ally that you've had, move on. You've reached a pinnacle point, and this is where you start to realize, I've accomplished something quite arduous or something that's been long term. This is the moment where it's like, yay, I've done it. I've landed the contract, or I've learned what I've needed to know, connected to a friend or a group that you're connected to, and now's the time to move on. So an interesting full moon for you as a Pisces rising. Opening up the month of July, the sun is continuing its transit through the sign of Cancer, that fifth house of joy and pleasure. So when you've got that sun injecting life force and energy and illumination, it's really hard to miss, that you are putting a lot of time and investment in a partnership or a relationship or children, looking at your investments, looking at even your physical health or changing up something with your physical body, but you're enjoying it. So it's a really nice transit with the sun in the fifth house for you. On July 22nd to August 22nd, we have the sun ingressing into its domicile sign of Leo, a very strong placement. The sun can do sun things very organically here and is very loud and proud. And for you as a Pisces rising, this is going to be your sixth house of the daily grind. This house is to do with your work, your co-workers, services you provide to other people, also to do with your physical health, getting on top of your own body, a lot to do with illness and sickness as well. And that sun transiting here can have you feeling very activated and busy, but you may have times where you feel like you just got to keep pushing through, even though you may feel overwhelmed because there's so much going on in that sixth house that needs your attention, because it's things that you're doing day to day. So interesting transit coming up for you from July 22nd to August 22nd, with that sun in its own sign of Leo strongly shining its light on the sixth house. Planet Mars is continuing its transit in Taurus in its detriment sign, and this is your third house, and on the 15th conjuncts Uranus. I have uploaded on the Cosmic Girl 101 YouTube channel a separate video about this Mars-Uranus conjunction only. It's a significant astrological day, so if you are an astrology enthusiast, you may want to have a listen to that video. But for you as a Pisces rising, you've got this breakthrough moment, if you will, that's benefiting you, because it's the third house sextiling your first house. So this is like starting a new routine in your local environment, short distance travel, making a big purchase, learning something, teaching something. It's beneficial, but because it's a conjunction on the 15th of July 2024, it could be a breakdown moment to break through of a funk connected to the third house topics, which is very busy. On the 20th of July, you've got Mars ingressing into Gemini till September 4th. And for you as a Pisces rising, this is going to be your fourth house squaring your first house. So conflict, struggles in the home or with real estate and property concerns, parents, parenting, your sense of sanctuary might be getting a bit of a ruffle. You may feel like you're very protective and you need to re-strategize. Things to do with real estate and property concerns when you've got that Mars transiting through your fourth house. On the 21st of July, Mars is trining retrograde Pluto in Aquarius, your 12th house. So something that you've been working on behind the scenes or things that have been hidden from the public view. Seems like there's going to be a moment for you that feels like it's a powerful reveal or a powerful change. Something you've been working on personally is occurring on the 21st of July for you. The 25th of July, Mars and Sun are coming into a sextile, and this is your sixth house and your fourth house in a sextile aspect that's powerful. This is where you say what you want to say. You do not hold back, or there's a conflict, or there's some sort of new road you're ready to take connected to home and family, real estate and property concerns, and what you do on the day-to-day, and especially with working or co-workers. This could be where you're taking on a home project connected with work, working from home, changing things up in the body, things that you do provided with services, coming into a sextile with the sun, to that Mars in the fourth looks empowering for a declaration or a profound change. Interesting day, the 25th of July. Planet Mercury has been transiting in Cancer, your fifth house of joy and pleasure and partnership and investments and children and creativity and your health. This is where we get healthy again and go on a new direction with a new sporting activity or getting into physical action again. is now going to be transiting in Leo on the 2nd of July. Mercury is going to be going into the 6th house. Now, Mercury in Leo can have you boldly expressing yourself with your co-workers and what you do on a day-to-day basis. You're looking at variety and diversity and what you do in the day-to-day grind. And Mercury here can have you very adept and sharp with communication, looking at the data and the details of what it is that you do with work, co-workers, and even your personal health. On the 8th of July, Mercury is sextiling Jupiter in Gemini. Now, this is Mercury's home sign, and this is your 4th house. So 6th and 4th house in a sextile, it's like Mercury, it's easier to get things going. It might be easier to move. It might be easier to renegotiate a contract or an agreement connected to real estate and property concerns. The 21st of July, Mercury is squaring Uranus and Taurus, your 3rd house. So the 6th and 3rd house are in a square aspect, and both these houses are all about communication and being busy and being very active in your environment and things that you do on a day-to-day basis. This simply could be like a conversation or some information comes across your table that's sort of disruptive. It seems a little bit odd or out of the blue. This could be like a co-worker saying something that just really throws you for a loop, or just could be a technological glitch that you might need to address on the 21st of July, no less the day of the full moon. July 25th, we've got Mercury ingressing into its exaltation and domicile sign of Virgo. Very strong placement for Mercury until the 4th of August. Your 7th house of partnership, relationship, marriage, your house of pleasure, agreements, contracts, and negotiations. Now, Mercury here in Virgo can just see you really getting down to the nitty-gritty with details, analytics, data, and information, sharp, acute communication, expressions of the mind being very much lit up here. So a lot of interaction with your partners or relationships, lots of details and analytics connected to what you agree with in contracts, negotiations. Look before you leap if you need to purify and cleanse anything to do with a relationship or agreements and contracts, especially with paperwork. This is a fantastic transit. Planet Venus transiting Cancer, your 5th house, opening up the month of July. Venus in Cancer in the 5th house, all about creating fun and joy and pleasure, having more fun times with a partnership. But can be very emotional and volatile at times, to be fair, because we're trying to establish something that feels safe and secure. So there could be some, nuances you have to sort out with your partner or romantic partner or connections, and also investments, children, creativity, physical health, etc. Physical activities, sports and leisure and stuff like that. This Venus can have you very emotionally driven in regards to those 5th house topics, but it's all about you're emotionally driven because you want to create more pleasure, and it can be difficult. On the 8th of July, Venus is sextiling Uranus and Taurus, your 3rd house, and this is Venus's home sign. So the 8th of July looks delicious for a breakthrough, a financial freedom moment. A partner creates more financial freedom. There just seems to be like a moment of finally we're having a day when it's just about us, or I'm enjoying myself, or I just feel like I can have a creative day of expression. So if I've been feeling like I haven't been able to express myself through my creative pursuits, this day lands where you get a breakthrough idea or something odd or peculiar comes through you, and you're expressing yourself quite organically here on the 8th of July, especially with your creative pursuits and a relationship. On the 11th of July to August 4th, Venus is going to be transiting the sign of Leo, your 6th house. Now, think Venus in Leo, sassy, bold, risque, enjoyment, being very public. So Venus transiting in your 6th house as a Pisces rising is where you have a lot more enjoyment with your daily grind and the people that you interact with daily through work, co-workers, even getting on top of your health and services you provide to other people. It's like where you can land lucrative contracts, or you finding your sense of balance with your work that you do day to day. Very Venusian, but it's pleasurable. On the 21st of July, Venus is sextiling Jupiter in Gemini, your 4th house, and the two benefics coming into a sextile is fantastic on the same day of that full moon, no less. This looks like it's like an energetic boost in your home environment or your family situation, real estate and property. Something's lining up here connected to the 6th house and the home and family. So you could be landing a lucrative contract to work from home. You could be starting a new health regime in the home, renovating in the home to make your everyday space more in line and luxurious for you. It's like renovating. Fantastic day when you've got Jupiter and Venus lining up in a sextile. And again, no less on the full moon day. Cosmic Girl 101 signing off. I trust you have a fabulous month of July 2024, Pisces Rising. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next video.